I guess the Alberta market in 2025 was hot and cold. It started out very strong from the previous years, early in 2025. That momentum kept going probably, I want to say, late spring, early summer. And then as the market shifted, the tariffs came in, the market started to react to some of that movement within interprovincial and the international movements to province kind of got slowed down. The market shifted slowly, and towards the end of the year, I think we were more of on a balanced market. So it was really hot when we started 2025, and kind of slowed down over the next 6 to 7 months, and then now I think we ended the year with it was still a strong market, but it was more balanced than I would say when the year started. Yeah, so as we saw in Alberta, the market is balanced where sellers are able to sell their home in a reasonable time. Buyers have the choices; they don't have to compete in multiple offers on all the properties. Builders have the time and the resources to build a quality product, and then they're finding that having the balanced market, I think, is really important. We love it as realtors, as agents. I think out there they can do the right work for the sellers and the buyers when the market's balanced, because there's more choices available, and then you get to market the home at the right price. Buyers don't feel like they have to rush to every viewing. Don't have to stand outside and wait for an offer, and then there's showings happening. There's 3 other agents and 3 other clients waiting for them to get in. So that works really well for the clients, especially the buyers and the builders. And builders aren't in a rush to push one product and push one house out of the way and then start the next one, or serve the next client. Builders also like that balanced market, because then they can put a quality product out and buyers get to enjoy that brand new home more, and that experience of building that home a lot more. So the biggest misconception I think 2025 had was the tariffs were getting announced, and people were like, hey, we're an oil producing province here in Alberta, especially in Edmonton, being close proximity to Fort McMurray, that the home prices would skyrocket because everything would just go up in price. 25% tariffs, $500,000 price home would, be almost a $700,000, $650,000 home, because, that 25,000 tariff, that's what it's going to do. And the buyers were like, oh, we're not going to be able to afford a home. We started with a strong, hot market, but then it balanced out as towards the end of the summer. So people had that misconception that the prices would go up because it was still hot. But as the market slowed down, we kind of started seeing a little bit of the recession effect. The true effect of tariffs kind of started to happen. And that's when people realized, hey, the home prices aren't going to go up. And then the other misconception then suddenly happened was the home prices would drop, because the other markets, Ontario and BC, what had happened there, the tariffs impacted a lot, and the international markets kind of slowed down. The interprovincial markets stopped. So people in Alberta, or at least the consumer perspective, was that you'll be able to pick up homes for free in and around Edmonton and Leduc and Beaumont, especially considering, these were slower markets or affordable markets anyway. So then that shifted that, hey, we're going to be able to find these homes very easily, and they're going to be cheaper. They're going to be flying off the shelves. And then that narrative slowly kind of settled out as it happens over time. People realized that we're a more balanced market. There's still job growth in Alberta. The oil producing companies were still producing oil. It was not tariffed to US. It was still going out there. And Alberta, maybe not so much in Calgary, but Edmonton is still a very affordable city. Calgary has gone up a little bit, but overall Alberta, if you look at the other cities, Red Deer, Grand Prairie, Fort McMurray, very affordable cities. Then consumers realize that there's people still buying homes. And Alberta is a very young province, so there's people that are growing, getting jobs, coming out of universities, settling with families, and they're stepping into that market, whatever, the first-time buyers market, or, upsizing or downsizing. So that market still exists quite a bit in Alberta. Just the homegrown population is doing well compared to other countries, compared to other provinces. So that then kind of shifted. And I think going forward into 2026, Alberta throughout this, I think next year, maybe even more so compared to the other provinces in Canada, will fare better, especially in the real estate market, because of some of the geopolitical things, but just the sheer factor that the job growth is doing well here in Alberta, and we are a very affordable province. Even the bigger cities, if you go to Calgary, you can find a single detached home for in and around the $700,000 market, and that you cannot do in some of the other bigger cities. I think the home price on an average for a single detached family home in Edmonton is still in and around less than $500,000. That is unheard of in any other major metropolitan city. So I think 2026, Alberta will be fine. I think Edmonton will probably do better than Calgary, but we're looking at in forecasts in terms of just because Calgary kind of peaked, their prices did go up, but Edmonton is still kind of lagging behind. There's movement now where people were thinking about moving to Calgary versus now, hey, it's only 2.5 hours away. We can go north and find a better quality, cheaper home, a couple $100,000 less than Calgary. So I think, but overall, I think Alberta will be a balanced market and will fare very well into 2026 and beyond. So this is really cool. KIC is I'd like to say a very close knit community of realtors that work with each other, not against each other. One of our top agents has got a coach based out of US she's learned the AI tools unbelievably, deep dive into it, paid for the coach, and she's done remarkable stuff with that, presentations and whatever you want to put it, the notes and everything, that she's be able to do that with AI. She's spent the money and learned it and done that, and she has come out and she spent the time with the agents here locally in Edmonton, where she has then said, hey, here's what I've learned. Here's what you need to do. I will put on these presentations for the next whatever few months, every couple of weeks for an hour on. And you can, if I can learn, you can learn from me, and you can be that agent for your clients, whoever it is, a buyer or whoever it is, a seller, that you can be ahead of the curve. Because everything that I see, I've learned, we're doing this stuff here remotely. AI is going to be a big factor when it comes into anything. And I think real estate overall, the agents, the brokerages who move along with that AI in the mindset will be better, be able to serve their clients, sellers or buyers. So I think having that an agent come back to teach and tell the other agents is what can be done with AI, I thought it was remarkable, and she's been killing it with AI for her clients. And I think we're learning that, and our agents have picked that up. And I think come 2026, in a market where it's balanced, where you're going to need to be patient, where you're going to need to do extra above and beyond for your clients, be it the sellers, be it the buyers, learning these advanced tools is going to go a long ways, from not just KIC perspective, but personally for themselves to stand out amongst other realtors and brokerages. Yeah, so when we're looking at these advanced technologies or developing technologies in AI and some of the other platforms, whatever that comes on board, it's going to help the sellers in a strong way, that where they can present the properties at the right market to the right buyers, at the right price, and then showcase their property. Hey, this property is worth so much because this is what it has, and it can be showcased to the right audience, the right buyers. So that way the sellers will be able to advance from that and be able to sell their home at the right price even in a balanced market or even a buyer's market. So now if we turn that around from a buyer's perspective, when buyers are looking at these properties, they can compare. They will know that, hey, this house in this market is worth this much, and this is how much I'm getting for my property's worth in terms of this is what I'm getting in a house that I'm buying. So buyers will also benefit from a lot of these advanced technologies that we're implementing, our agents are implementing, and then we're looking as a company to implement in the background of our operations. Yeah, at KIC, we're big believers. It's in our name, it's in our blood, it's in our culture. Integrity is a big part of it. So, and I've seen this other agents and other realtors, and we talk about professionalism, and I think that professionalism becomes part of the integrity. When the market's hot, you're cheating your clients, your sellers, your buyers to not guide them right, not tell them the open sources available to outbid the other guys, or not hold that professional line and say, hey, we got to have the integrity just to transact that property, just to make that commission. And then same thing happens as the market shifts. It gets to a balanced market, it gets to a buyer's market rather than a seller's market, and then you're creating that atmosphere, or you're creating that I guess in a buyer's, hey, you got to get this property right away, or you got to do this, not doing the work, not spending the time to search the right property that fits their needs, is also part of that professionalism, that integrity, where you are not doing the work for your buyers, and you're just, hey, forcing them to buy that and just transact it for the commission, and not actually work for the client to make sure that this property fits their needs and it's going to work for them long term. It's going to benefit them. It works for their family needs. It works for their growing needs, and it works for them professionally wherever they're employed, and the movability if they needed to sell and move on. As you guys know, KIC, it's knowledge, integrity, and community. The community part really comes alive with our agents, and I think that's the backbone of our agents. They're really involved in the community. Being involved is great, but they're helping and volunteering. So our agents, just as you know, the Christmas season, holiday season just went past us. They got together, I think, I don't have the exact numbers, but they put together holiday hampers. They adopted the families. They did the hampers here in Edmonton. They picked them up and delivered them. They raised money to make sure that these families were taken care of during the Christmas season. So that community part really stands out with not just in the company, but not just even from just doing stuff in the community, but actually going out there, volunteering, and spending the money and their own time. They actually went out and delivered these hampers to the families. So when we're talking about KIC, we're not just a real estate brokerage. We're not just a transaction company where we're selling and buying real estate. It's really a team that has the ownership of the company, and they're looking out for the best interest of their clients. And it's rooted in Canadian culture, in Canadian society. It was started by Canadians, and it's serving its Canadians. The money stays in Canada. The advertising dollars, the money that's being spent, it goes back to here locally into the communities. The realtors take that on as a very I guess a serious and a note, where they're trying to make sure that who are you aligning yourself with, which companies do you want to spend the money with, where you're advertising, and where are you volunteering, and where you're spending the money and your time. So that part of KIC is really what drove me, or is what attracted me to come to KIC and work with these great agents and the people that started this. So I'm really proud to say that we're Canadian at heart, we're Canadian in mind, we're Canadian in everything we do. And we want to, as we go further along, we want to make sure that the people and the agents understand that, and as everybody else wants to know that, hey, Canada is its own country. We want to be proud of it, and we want to have the companies and the dollars stay here and help our society, our communities, and our people here locally. Looking into 2026, I think it will be a balanced market, like we said before. I'm very optimistic about the Alberta market. The job growth is there. And as we're looking at the forecast, I think the interprovincial movements and the immigration movements are still happening. Alberta is on top of the mind of people moving to Canada and making a move within Canada. So I think that will translate into a strong, balanced market in and around Edmonton, the core cities, Calgary, Red Deer, Grand Prairie, and Fort McMurray as the job growth continues. So I think we're going to see a very balanced and a strong market where I don't see prices going down. If anything, with the demand going up, with the prices will probably go up slightly, not so overly. But that also comes down to the point where the supply, I think the supply is going to be limited as more and builders and the other products come online, be it apartments, be it townhouses. The builders are only building so much and they can only build so much. So I think we're going to see a balanced market and very optimistic, and the right agents will do a great job because it's a balanced market. They'll be able to sell the homes. They'll be able to buy the homes for the right clients at the right price. I think the real estate atmosphere in Alberta with some of the geopolitical things, the oil sands and MOU from the federal government, I think will drive that market, and we're very optimistic for 2026 and beyond for the Alberta real estate market. So my message to all the KIC or even beyond the KIC agents is it's not, success isn't just big goals. It's the consistent small stuff, actions, the reading, the journals, the research, looking at the data, finding the right product for your clients, going out, meeting, networking, searching the properties, meeting with the builders, those small tasks that it's not just always opening the door and closing the doors, turning the lights on and off. It's the stuff that happens when you're not with clients that I think is going to make the difference. It's you work smarter, not harder, and the core values is what's going to drive us, the agents, apart from some of the other brokerages, the agents. I'm looking forward to 2026, and I think the KIC agents are going to stand out with all the knowledge and integrity and the new technologies we're bringing in. My name's Kular. I've been a realtor over 11 years. Currently, I'm a broker at KIC Realty. Looking forward to the World Cup as my two boys are soccer avid players, and I've been coaching them soccer for over 10 years. Other than soccer, if you're looking for real estate advice, you're looking to sell, you're looking to buy, or you just need a community, KIC is the right place to be at. Come reach out to any of the KIC agents. Keep it Canadian. Enjoy the World Cup.